Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we will be installing new tie rods, upgrading my control arm bushings, and installing a new steering guibo on my BMW E46. I know you guys have been wanting to see the E46 content, so here it is. This is kind of the last stuff I need to do on my car to have it all dialed in, and then I can go for an alignment. So let's show you what we're going to be installing today, and then we'll get to it. So here's a look at everything we have. We have Miley HD control arm bushings. In here, we have Febby Bilstein tie rod ends, inner and outers, and I also got the boots right here. And then the last thing we have is the steering wheel guibo. Over time, you'll get excessive play in your steering wheel because this rubber just breaks down over time, and this one's super firm, so hopefully we'll be replacing this. We tried it on Matt's car. This is actually from Matt's E46. He never installed it. We're gonna give it another go on my car. So we already have the car jacked up. Matt already even took off the wheels, and we're gonna go right for the tie rod ends. I think, unfortunately, we're probably gonna have to cut off the bolts. They're probably super rusty. We're gonna turn the wheel and get in there and see what we have to do. We're gonna try using an impact gun to take them off, but I doubt they're gonna come off. So let's see how it goes. So we were able to get it off with an impact gun. It was an 18, I believe, right, Matt? Yep. And now we're gonna try putting a pickle fork in here and smacking the tie rod down. There is a specific tool for this, but I've always used the pickle fork.
And doesn't seem to be coming out. We might try sticking a Allen in there, but that might break. So we might also have to run to the store and get the right size pickle fork. This is a control arm pickle fork. It's too wide, so it's not actually separating it.
And the other thing is there is another pickle fork that you put in here, and I think this is the correct tool. You put it in here and it puts pressure on the top too, and you like put a impact gun on it and it does both jobs at once, and usually that is the correct tool for this. So we'll see what we can do. We'll update you guys. So we were able to drop it down. Definitely spray some PB Blaster in here and up top to loosen the rust and let it sit. And you can see it's dropped down. Probably have to hit it a couple more times just to fully drop it down, but it's out for the most part. All right, so we're now gonna remove the tie rod from the steering rack. We pulled off the boots and we're just using a crescent wrench. There is an actual tool, but a little too cheap for that, so let's see what happens.
Guys, these are on very tight.
There we go.
There we go.
And it's off, and you can spin it off by hand. All right, so we're now going to put the new tie rod. We already assembled it outside the car, as you can see. Very nice. We did new boots, and we have new clamps to put over it, but we're going to thread it on to the steering rack now. So I'm going to work on getting the control arm bushings out. My control arms have already been replaced, but look at these bushings. This bushing kind of popped off, and there's a little bit of play with the tire on. If you shake it from the top and the bottom up and down, you should be able to see some play. And if side to side is usually tie rod, so I saw that there's play in both of them, so I'm going to replace these. These are really easy to take off. You have to remove this huge metal shield that's up here that you probably know. It's like a cross member brace, and then it looks like just these two 16mm. Pull those off, and then we're probably going to, this will drop down, and then we're probably going to try to beat this off or use a 3-jaw puller, which we have to pull it off, and that should come right off, and then smack the new ones on. It should be good to go. And then obviously we got to do that on the other side, and we have to do the steering guibo, which is actually, I don't know if you guys can see, right up there. That's my steering guibo. Doesn't look terrible, but definitely something to replace just because the car does have a lot of miles. As you guys can see, these things they've had better days. And it's off, just like that. Gear puller, super simple. It is a little tight on the side with the catalytic converters. So we are now going to put on the new Miley HD control arm bushings.
and sometimes you might have to lube it up a little bit to get it on the actual shaft of the control arm.
Alright guys, so it is actually the next day. We ran into a few hiccups yesterday. We couldn't get the control arm bushings onto the control arms. We had some issues with that. I actually used a gear puller, as you guys saw me, to take them out. But to put them back on, I tried just slipping them over, beating them with the hammer. It did not work. We ended up having to use tie-down straps, wrap them around the control arm, and wrap it around the bushing and suck it back in, and then beat it on with the hammer once it was under tension, and we were able to get it on. However, we ended up using the new Miley HD bolts that were supplied with it, and unfortunately I snapped one of the bolts, so that became a huge nightmare, and I was actually able to just get it out today. That's why it's the next day. I'll show you guys what I used to get it out. I guess it's pretty common on the E46 to break the control arm bushing bolts, so I definitely recommend going genuine bolts with this, just because the hardness I think is 10.9, and I'm sure the Miley HD ones are not that hard. So definitely use your original bolts. Don't use new ones. And let me show you guys the bolt. So here's a look at the bolt that I snapped off. As you can see, the inner part snapped because I was just messing around with it. But let me show you guys the bolt, the other half of the bolt, because these are pretty long. As you can see, here's an original BMW bolt, and you can see how long and how much threads were hanging in there. So let me show you the other half of the bolt. There's the other half of the bolt. I don't want to touch it because it probably is still hot, but I was able to get it out. I used PB Blaster and lithium grease. I sprayed down the internals first, and then I actually just used these easy outs. So one side is a bit to drill into it, and the other side is the actual easy out, and you run it both in reverse, and it pulled it right out. And now I'm gonna take a look up there. We still have one in. I'm gonna take that other one out. I'm gonna first put the factory BMW bolt in and then take the other one out. Once I have that done, we also got the tie rods fully on. I do need to adjust them a little and do the guibo. Alright everyone, so unfortunately I wasn't able to do the guibo. I tried everything I could to get it off. It wouldn't come off the shaft. I think it's just seized on there, and I think heat would be needed to take this off. I do want to replace the guibo, but I was happy that I was able to do the control arm bushings and the tie rods because I would like to go for an alignment. So unfortunately, you didn't get to see the guibo in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me replace my tie rods and control arm bushings to finish up the front suspension / steering, and now I'm going for an alignment. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Also, don't forget to check out my Amazon ECS affiliate link down below.